The mayor of Swanton, Ohio is a total disaster, such a disgrace. The mayor of Swanton, Ohio is a total disaster, such a disgrace.
What's your subhead for this 302-86409? Amber, 535. I'll talk again. I have to ask this one.
If you've ever said somebody needs to do something, this message is for you, because this time somebody is us, and we're going to show you exactly how to get on the front line of this fight. Join our Patreon, www.fcnwatchdogmedia.org, link is in the description. Peekaboo, we see you. If you've ever said somebody needs to do something, this message is for you, because this time somebody is us, and we're going to show you exactly how to get on the front line of this fight. Join our Patreon, www.fcnwatchdogmedia.org, link is in the description. Peekaboo, we see you.
Hey, John Rich. What makes you think you're getting out of this? I don't give a damn that you sold the dealership in the middle of a federal complaint. It's all on the public record of the racist discrimination, the Harambe jokes, Toby, token black. You can't run from it. Kimble versus McNeil Chevrolet, the Rich Chevrolet, General Motors, and Chevrolet. FCN Watchdog Media. Peekaboo, we see you.
Did a small-town police department really hold a black minister's DNA hostage while a hate crime went unsolved? On January 17, 2022, a black-owned business in Swanton called the HCV store was hit with a full-blown hate crime. Door kicked in, the N-word sprayed, huge on the walls, thousands in damage to a black family's livelihood. And the police station just down the street, 0.2 miles away. Instead of treating this like a civil rights emergency, it was Swanton PD showed up late, downplayed it, and then did something very way worse. FCN Watchdog Media continues coverage.
Do you need exposure? Contact FCN Watchdog Media immediately. Your voice will be heard in 2026. Your story will not be ignored. You can apply pressure virtually. You can demand justice openly. www.fcnwatchdogmedia.org. Do you need exposure? Contact FCN Watchdog Media immediately. Your voice will be heard in 2026. Your story will not be ignored. You can apply pressure virtually. You can demand justice openly. www.fcnwatchdogmedia.org.
Become a FCN Watchdog Media Justice Warrior today. Become a FCN Watchdog Media Justice Warrior today. Become a FCN Watchdog Media Justice Warrior today. Become a FCN Watchdog Media Justice Warrior today.
The mayor of Swanton, Ohio is a total disaster, such a disgrace. Mayor of Swanton, Ohio is a total disaster, such a disgrace.
What's your son have this razor? Yeah, right. I have to ask you.
The mayor of Swanton, Ohio is a total disaster, such a disgrace. Mayor of Swanton, Ohio is a total disaster, such a disgrace.
What's your son have this razor? Yeah, right. I have to ask you.
The mayor of Swanton, Ohio is a total disaster, such a disgrace. Mayor of Swanton, Ohio is a total disaster, such a disgrace.
Yo, some Jennifer. Hey, guy. Why don't you tell everybody what happened in court today?
Hello? Can you hear me? Scam.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, Delta, why don't you? My dog's barking because she hears you, man. She's crying now. She's like, where's my friend at? Where's my friend at?
Listen, you scam. We are already live, so all of your innuendos and all of that crap. Our audience is listening to whatever scam you just came up with.
Oh, well, you know what? That's great. At least they know that we're animal lovers, and not only do we love the animals, they love us too.
All right, so we're going to talk about what actually transpired in court today regarding the Shinover case. Joseph Shinover Jr. is the name of the attorney. And in case you guys, I don't know if you guys have been following FCN Watchdog Media, this is Marquis Kimble, executive director, and the president on the phone, or on this particular stream, Mr. William Amato. And what we're doing tonight is we kind of want to cover with you guys what actually transpired in court, because some of you guys have been following it. I don't know if you guys have all been following it, but we've been posting every single step of the way ever since this situation transpired in the court. So what we're going to do is, Bill, if you want to kind of give these guys a backstory on this, because I've talked about it so much that I think that they need to hear it from someone else's, and then I'll come back in and add lib when you ask me to.
Okay. So I get freedom to roll, huh?
Yeah, because I always, you know how I always do. So this time I need you to really go ahead and take the floor.
Okay, so everybody, this is Bill here. So quick little backstory on this, just to head back to when it first began. Marquis had noticed while he was on his pages, social media pages, he saw Mr. Shinover, what appeared to be Mr. Shinover anyway, looking at some of his business profiles on his social media. That immediately made Mr. Kimble very uncomfortable, considering that he already at this time had a federal lawsuit in on one of the attorneys who has a relationship with Mr. Shinover. Either had worked for him one time or currently as a colleague, just some type of relationship that may have existed at that time. So, of course, that put Mr. Kimble into a panic, and he went and took to social media and expressed how upset he was about everything. In one of his videos that he had done, he expressed the fact that he is a license carrying holder of a firearm, and if you come onto his property, that he was going to use whatever means necessary. You'd come up stinking. No more than putting a sign on your house that says, you know, trespassers will be shot. Mr. Kimble, already in fear because he has lawsuits going on against, State Farm, the police out in Swanton. You've got the dealership that he shut down, and all of these people seems like to some degree know each other. So just imagine the thoughts that are going through Mr. Kimble's head. So as he expresses and puts it out there, he wants this guy to know, hey, stay away from me, because the end result is going to be you're going to have a problem. So what does this attorney do? He goes and he runs and he files a protection order against Mr. Kimble. He stalks Mr. Kimble, provoked Mr. Kimble to anger to say something that he was legally allowed to say, and then chose to reach out and punish Mr. Kimble for doing so by issuing a protection order against him. That's how this all went down. Now, after Mr. Kimble had to surrender his firearm, which he surrendered to my son, who is a licensed gun holder, has his OPATA license and everything like that, went through the police training, etc. So surrendered his firearm to my son, who held on to it during that time. Over 90 days, Mr. Kimble had to go with his firearm not on his person, being able to have himself protected in case anything happened, dealing with all these fools out here in Swanton and everything like that. So I get on and I start supporting Mr. Kimble about this. And what does this guy do? He puts a protection order on me too. So now I got a protection order on me. So, you know, before, I haven't even been into court yet on my case, but Mr. Kimble was. And on day one, this is what made everything so beautiful. We really didn't know what to do going into court on day one. I mean, we had an idea of what to do, but just didn't really know how to proceed it. So, you know, we knew that Mr. Shinover was going to have his turn in court, and we knew that Mr. Kimble was going to eventually have his turn in court. So after Mr. Shinover had his turn, it was time for Mr. Kimble to have his turn. And when Mr. Kimble went into court on that next day, I mean, he did what he needed to do, and he did not allow any tricks or antics to be deployed by Mr. Shinover in court, and who is by as you know, an attorney. He went to school. He took the bar exam. He did all of these things. Owns a firm. I don't know how many employees, but has like 3 or 4 different locations, possibly at least 2 locations for sure. May have 3 or 4. So anyway, Mr. Kimble goes in, fights for himself on that day, and even during this process, had a contempt of court placed against him, as if he had violated the court order, which really wasn't in place anyway at this time, because the court had not decided that anything that had been put forth by Mr. Shinover was valid to implement a protection order. So with all of that going on, the wonderful thing after all of the fighting back that Mr. Kimble did, filing the motions. Mr. Kimble went even as far as putting in a complaint with the Lucas County Common Pleas Court, which is a beautiful thing, because now this judgment entry that was put forth today by the judge in this case has now gotten rid of this finding of facts, says that there is nothing that Mr. Schinover has provided to the court that allows any type of protection order to be placed against Mr. Kimble, and all restrictions and everything that were against Mr. Kimble for this purpose are herefore null and void, negated, no longer valid. They don't mean anything. And that's because they found no valid argument in Mr. Schinover's complaint against Mr. Kimble. So what does this do for Mr. Kimble's state case that he has now pending in the Lucas County Common Pleas Court? So these are two courts that have the same issuing power as far as law goes. And this court in Ottawa County found that this protection order was BS. And Marquis filed a complaint against Mr. Schinover because that complaint that he filed against Mr. Kimble was BS. So now Mr. Kimble's going to take this as evidence. This is evidence to take and support his case over in the Common Pleas Court. So over here in Lucas County, this is a wonderful thing. This is something that both of us, we worked on together. We fought. Not only did we beat Mr. Schinover in court, we beat his whoever he was sitting there next to him, helping him out, any of his people that he had on his staff. I don't give a shit who was there. All I know is in the end, Mr. Kimble and myself, we won in court. That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what it comes down to, guys. We wanted to do this live specifically tonight because we've got plenty of people that jump into our groups on our pages and, hey, have you won a case yet? Have you won a case yet? Well, here you go. Right in your face. A case that we won pro se without the assistance of an attorney. So don't sit here and tell me, oh, you have to have an attorney every time you go in front of the court. That is not what the United States Constitution says. When somebody mistreats you and violates your rights, you have every right to stand up in court and defend yourself. And you don't need to hire some Joe Schmo attorney that you're going to have to pay triple times the amount of money to go and show where somebody did you wrong. Like he said, in this whole situation, I don't even think he gave himself enough credit, even though it was something that ended up happening with the both of us. If it had not been for Mr. Amato basically taking the time with me to cover what needs to be done the second day, I would not have had success with this. So although I went in there the second day and was ready to object to anything this clown put up that had nothing to do with the protection order, it was Mr. Amato that spent the time with me to make sure that I was prepared the next day. So that's what we're trying to say. FCN Watchdog Media is not a one-way street. It's not, you're not going to be able to reach out to me and get success without understanding that we are a team. And because of our team effort, this is the success. Don't tell me you cannot defeat an attorney in court because you can.
Yeah, and that's absolutely correct, because I'll tell you what, when it comes to telling facts in court, you know, you start watching all of these television shows where, you know, objection, oh, we're not going to allow this, we're not going to allow. I'll tell you, so much of that stuff that you see on there is bullshit, okay? First off, I want you guys to know that. What you see on television is frickin' television. Now, if you're in court and you're arguing your case in front of 12 people that have to either believe you or they have to believe this other guy, okay? Now, when the arguments start happening in court with all the motions and everything getting filed, that is where the argument of law is taking place. This is what the judge sees, okay? These are motions that are being filed that are not happening in front of jurors or anything like that. I want you guys to understand this. So when it comes to arguing your actual case in front of the judge or in front of the jury, you're going to argue simply the absolute merits of the of your case. You're going to argue the truth about the facts of your case. You're not going to argue the truth of the facts of the case of such and such versus such and such, Nebraska versus so and so, or California state law versus. You're not arguing that. That happens, you know, in the filing of motions and in the filing of other answers to motions and things like that. Jury's not going to hear that shit. That doesn't even mean a single thing to these people. So nobody can argue your case better than you can. When you have confidence in knowing what you're talking about, nobody's going to do a better job than you. The only thing that you're going to need to learn how to do, and maybe have some help from people like us, is how to be able to work the court system when it comes to putting forth the paperwork and filing the motions and filing the complaints and filing the answers that need to be filed. That's where the work and the war is fought. It's mainly fought right there in that spot. And once you get to the part to where you can tell your story, they don't want you at that part. They don't want you at that part because they're not even fucking good at telling their own story, let alone telling yours. You're going to be a badass at telling your story in court because nobody knows your story better than you. These people have to lie to come up with something to convince others to believe them over you. You guys have to remember that. You have to have confidence. You're not stupid. Our forefathers knew you weren't stupid because they put it in the Constitution when they said that you had right to counsel. Not legal counsel, but counsel to be able to have anybody that you frickin' choose to, or yourself, to represent you in court, feeling that you have enough decision making behind you to be able to make that choice. I mean, if the courts are going to give you the decision making to be a damn juror, how are they not going to give you the decision making to make your own judgments when it comes to your case? See, that's the big lie that they tell you. They can kiss my ass on that one. I get a little overexcited, guys, when I talk. I might throw a few ass bombs and F bombs here and that. So I am sorry about that. But this shit gets me emotional.
Well, I mean, and it should, though. It should get anybody emotional because it's the system that you know, like, I want you guys to understand. I didn't just file a complaint in Lucas County Court of Common Pleas. I took it a step further. I filed a complaint against the judge involved. I filed a complaint against the attorney involved, Shinover. I took it to the Supreme Court as well because, see, the reality of it is there is never going to be any change until there's consequences and somebody is made an example of. It's no different than what they say to us when they arrest us for something that we've done wrong. The judge will say, oh, I got to make an example out of you. Well, here's an opportunity for the system to make an example out of an attorney that clearly was engaging in misconduct, clearly violated the law. And now there's a court that stands behind it to prove that he violated the law.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So now it's no longer just Marquis saying, oh, he did this to me. No, a court looked at all of his evidence, and you better believe he came in there with everything but the kitchen sink. The guy pulled 15 videos off of my YouTube channel trying to prove to the court that I somehow was stalking him. Please explain to me how I'm stalking you and you're the one stalking my pages.
Yeah, he's got 15 of your videos. Who's stalking? Who's doing the stalking?
Yeah, not only that, you're stalking my pages and reporting my pages to Facebook as harassment. How in the world am I harassing you and you're coming to my pages? So you're telling me if I post something on my page, you can go to court and say that it's harassment and get a protection order against somebody? Stop playing with me. And this guy abused the system and the courts allowed him to do it. So why in the world would I stop there with just Shinover? No, I want the judge that signed this order that allowed this guy to misuse the court system and misuse our time and waste the court's time.
Yep.
All of this was all lies that he cooked up, wasting every taxpayer's dollars that you can imagine. And now you got to go back to court for the same type of garbage.
Let's see. So we're how far in? Okay, so we're 25 minutes into this video. So I'm gonna at the 25:20 mark. You can make a note. So this message is for Mr. Shinover going forth from this right here. So you can make a note in your video so that way he can see it and fast forward this, okay? So this is how this is going to go. If you hear this and see this video before I see you in court on the 4th, I want you to know that I'm giving you one opportunity to let this go, okay? So meaning that you drop your protection order that you have against me. Don't waste my time and have me show up to court on that day, okay? Because if I got to show up to court on that day, I don't think I'm going to be as cool about this as I've been, which means that I'm not going to let it go. Even though it's going to get thrown out, I'm not going to let it go. I'm going to get just as ridiculously aggressive in pursuing you, probably even more so than Mr. Kimble did and is doing currently. If I have to go forth and file something against you, man, I've been calm. I've been rather polite about this as you've been continuously dragging me out in the mornings to come to court. You know, I'm still trying to heal from my heart surgery that I had, and you're messing with me, bro. So, you know, you want to do this to me. I'm going to show you what repercussions are, legal repercussions, if you continue to mess with me. Do the right thing and let it go. That's all I'm saying. You got bigger problems to fry right now with Mr. Kimble. Don't make me another one, bro.
Well, I mean, that makes it pretty clear. I don't know what else, how else to sum that up. That's pretty. I don't know how else to sum that up. That's pretty straightforward. The guy broke the law, and now he's going to have to face the consequences. And like I said, we don't want you guys to think that we're just walking around here trying to sue whoever we want to sue and we're sue happy and, we're just going to find a way to pull you in court. No, this guy caused all of these problems for himself. No different than McNeil Chevrolet, no different than State Farm, no different than the Swanton Police Department. And the fact that this guy even tried to go as far as to say to the courts, he's got all of these other lawsuits. Well, let's talk about why we have all these other lawsuits. All of those other lawsuits stem from the same damn problem, which is the break-in of our store that was vandalized with the words nigger. That is where everything started. So if you want to be upset that there's a lawsuit against all of these people that are involved, I don't know what to tell you, guy. But when you step in and you violate my rights, then I'm going to use the courts, just like anybody else, to defend and hold you accountable. And that's what happened here. So at the end of the day, I don't even feel bad. I'm actually happy. And what you said earlier, Bill, that has already been turned into an exhibit and turned into the court and accepted and on the docket by the clerk of courts as of today.
All right. Yeah. I mean, as it should be. You know, and I haven't done anything to this guy. I haven't, even after he did his thing on me, I haven't gotten online and said really shit or anything about this guy.
No, you haven't. I've been the one ripping him apart.
And he's still fucking not leaving me alone. So,
yep.
I haven't filed a lawsuit against him. My lawsuit that I have going on has absolutely nothing to do with anything that you've got going on in your life. So just as everybody is aware of that, anything like Mr. Kimble and I didn't even become associated with each other until almost 6-7 months after his store was broken into. So his shit already happened prior to me even coming into contact with him. So, as we became friends, we started to learn how that we can, use the system to be able to defend ourselves, because the system isn't, the attorneys that are out there are literally, man, they're bullshit. I'm telling you, these guys are bullshit. They're friends. They know each other. They try not to make waves. They cut deals in the court for the sake of the fucking court. That's what they do. They're representatives of the court to cut deals for the fucking court. I don't give a shit. That's my opinion. And if none of you like it, you can kiss my ass. I don't care. That is the way that it is. So,
I mean, think about it. They all have the same title, officer of the court.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to believe that you guys are not in cahoots with one another. Like I said, the number one thing that makes me know that it's all a scam, like you brought out last video, is when they all go up to the bench and approach the bench. but yet the person that's standing there being charged can't hear what's being discussed at the bench. That's what makes the court system a scam. Because how are you sitting here talking about me, but I don't get to hear what you're saying? And then you walk back to the counsel's table and tell me that this is the only option that I have. I don't believe the court system is set up for the citizen. If you don't have an attorney walking in there and you don't know how to defend your rights, good luck.
Yeah, and then these damn judges, I'm telling you, more than half the time, these guys aren't in there to flex their knowledge of the law. They're in there to flex their power that they have over you. Is what you either do what they say in their courtroom. First off, motherfucker, it's not your courtroom. It's not yours.
Right.
Whoever gave you that idea that it's your courtroom? It's, you know what? It's not mine personally, but how about this? It's our fucking courtroom, bitch, and you don't get to make the rules that inconvenience everybody else so you can show a show of strength. Fuck you. You don't get to do that. And that shit's gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? That shit has to stop. Why do I gotta take? Listen, where in a million years does a judge deserve the same respect that I have to take my hat off when they come into the courtroom? Well, a courtroom where they said the separation of church and God, where they don't have church and state separated, and you get the same respect that I'm supposed to show when a military man is present or the United States flag is present. I'm supposed to respect you at that level and take my fucking hat off? Fuck you. The fuck out of here, man. Like these are the hypocritical things I'm talking about. I don't know. I just went off on a tangent. That's just
well, see that, that doesn't bother me. I feel like when you're going to ask the court for something, in my opinion, I believe that you should be respectful, because think about it. If they opened it up to anybody wearing a hat in court, you're going to get people that come in there totally disrespectful to the court. And that's just the bottom line, because you can't, it's one of those things where you can't pick, it's either all of it, all the way, or none of the way. You can't say, oh, I can okay this person because of their religion. Well, then what happens when the young disrespectful thug walks in there and decides that he wants to wear his backwards hat that says, the most obscene stuff on it, because we've broken that rule in that tradition that you must respect the court. So I don't think it's necessarily respecting the judge when you have to remove your hat. It's respecting the court. You are in court. You're asking the court for something, whether you're being you're defending your freedom, or you're fighting for your rights, as in my case. If I walked in this place, I must show the courtroom that I can be respected. And so I personally think I agree with the fact that you got to take your hat off. I don't think it's nothing wrong with that, personally, only because of that reason. Because you have to set the standard. If you don't, then you're going to have any and everything walk in the courtroom and think it's acceptable.
Okay. Now I hear you on that remark. Now, except for the fact that I can't wear my hat in the court, but a woman can. Okay. A woman can wear her hat in court. I can't wear my hat in court. Now, if you taught courtroom decor as if there's some type of decorum that needs to be upheld when you're going to court. Otherwise, let's just say, what's his name comes in with his hat on backwards and whatever. You know what? He might be one of the most upstanding fucking young kids in the neighborhood, or young men in the neighborhood, passes out food to the homeless, does all kinds of shit. He can't come to court as himself. He has to come to court in a certain way that they don't teach. So then now he has to be disrespected and called out by the court for having his hat on that he knew nothing about. That's the bullshit that I'm talking about, and that's the power. That's the power.
Now let's look at it this way. That same kid with the backwards hat that's respectful to the neighbors, and he's all respectful and all that stuff, all that scam you just said to me. Can he walk into a bank and apply for a job or even walk in there and act like he's going to do some business without them looking at him wondering what is he up to.
No, not likely. He's dressed for he's going for a job interview. But
Exactly.
let's just say this guy,
Wait a minute.
he's just coming to court just to listen to what's going on. He can't even wear his hat. He's not even there asking the court for anything. He's just a citizen just listening in.
Right, but what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that citizen getting dressed like he's going to an interview if he's going to go in the courtroom? I mean, I don't understand what's wrong with that. If he doesn't have the clothing, the proper attire to show up at court and show respect, then I don't believe he needs to go if he's a citizen. Now, it's one thing if you're a defendant and you don't have no clothes and you just you come as you are and this is all you got. Well, then you can't be judged by a situation like that. There are situations that happen like that where a person just cannot be judged because they just don't have the attire. But most of the time, people do have the attire. They just don't want to wear it. They don't like wearing it. They think it's too much. No, it's not. I believe it. First of all, it's respect to the court, not the judge, the court. If the attorneys dress up, what the fuck's wrong with everybody else dressing up?
We'll see whose court is it? It's our court. But who's the one bitching? The one up there sitting behind the fucking gavel. That's the one bitching. It's not. I'm not out here bitching about the person wearing a hat in court. I'm not feeling disrespected, and it's our court. That's our fucking court. That belongs to the people. If we're not feeling disrespected by the way so-and-so comes in there and dress, who the fuck is this person up here wearing the robe think they are? Or what, you know what they're acting like? They're acting like I'm sorry, I'll say it out here because this is just how. Oh man, I can't say it on the. Nope, I can't. I can't say it.
You can't say it. Nope. Right on your tongue.
Yep, I can't say it. Yep, not allowed to say it.
But the reality of it is, I understand what you're saying, but I believe that, like, for instance, you're seeing a lot of judges in today's time. Like, I posted a story last night that I saw about a judge that, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's been 2 different judges recently that have been caught up in child sexual assault.
Yeah, now, I saw at least one of them.
Yeah, one of the judges was the judge that sat on the bench on the Dylan Roof case, which is that jackass that went into the church and shot up all those people.
Yep.
Now, when he sat on the bench in that case, he told the audience that jackass Dylan Roof's family, he deserved some type of he deserves some I'm trying to think of the word, but he basically said he deserves some leniency because he still has a family. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. This is what the judge said on why he sentenced what he sentenced on the guy. My point is this. There are so many judges sitting on the bench just doing whatever the hell they want to do. I think our fight is not with the hat in the courtroom.
I know that was just an example, bro. I went on a tangent, that's all.
No, I mean, because I know what you're saying. I mean, I can totally see it from your side of it, but I also can see it from the other side of it. Because like I said, if you open that door, it's no different than if they open the door for anybody to come into the courtroom with their cell phones. Now, we were allowed to do it for a case because we're covering that case. We're only allowed to cover that case with our phones. They gave us strict rules allowed with it. Boom, boom, boom. But now what happened if the court said everybody can come in with their phones? Do you think everybody's going to obey those rules?
I mean, I don't think everybody's going to obey those rules, but then what do you do when you say, well, guess what, you guys? Fuck your Second Amendment. Fuck your First Amendment. Fuck your Third Amendment. Fuck all of them. You know, because you have your First Amendment rights, you have your freedom of the press, you have the freedom to be able to record. You have that right. It's in the Constitution. But see, we're not under constitutional law. We're under revised codes and all these other things, okay? And these are the things that are being pushed against us. See, so as our police officers, as these attorneys, and as our judges take their oath that they're going to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the state of Ohio and protect us from all enemies, foreign and domestic, what do? They come down, they get their job, and they say, fuck the Constitution of the United States, fuck the Constitution of the state of Ohio, and welcome in the Ohio revised codes, because that's what we're going to be obeying now, and fuck the oath that we took.
But think about what
happens in the end.
But think about it though. That's not the reason of why they take our phones there. They take our phones because we are dealing with Lucas County, who has old ass courtrooms and old ass courthouses that don't have no way to separate the jury from the defendants or the defendants from the audience. So if they opened it up and allowed everybody to record, now the jury's safety is a problem. So I understand why they take the phones in the courthouse. They don't have to explain that to me anymore. It's not even about the freedom there. What if they opened it up to everybody? You're going to have some people in there that are going to put their phones out and record the jury, which is a complete safety breach for the jury member, because now you don't know who's looking at the jury member. What if there's a family member of the defendant recording the jury member that sentenced their family member to jail? What kind of so I understand why they say no phones. To me, that's not even an Ohio revised code thing. Now, if they update the courts like they should with the tax dollars and rebuild a new courtroom, a new courthouse that can separate the defendants from the jury members, from the audience, then I can see if we wanted to argue if you took my phone. Because you're right, I can record this. This is public area. But what's not public is the fucking defendants or the jury members. The only people that they told us that we are even allowed to record is the judge and the accused.
Yeah, correct. And that's what we're doing. But think about it like this. Because the court doesn't have this separation, which doesn't say anything about that in the Constitution, where does it say that people have to relinquish their constitutional rights because the court don't have their shit together? Tell me where that's written. How much time has the court had, Lucas County had, to get their shit together to be able to fix the courthouse to make it not such? How long have they had to be able to do that to where I don't have to worry about my rights being infringed upon? As a matter of fact, I can sit in the courtroom with the damn jurors that are there, and just before court lets out, I can go downstairs, get my phone unlocked, walk right out the door with the jurors, turn my phone on, record them, say, this is the bitch right here that found him not guilty, or this is the bitch right here that found him guilty. These are all of them right here, guys. These are all the jurors. Just get all
First of all, that's funny as hell. But you and I both know how the courthouse is laid out. It would take you 20 years to get back up them stairs, and by the time you got back up them stairs, half of the jury would be in their cars and gone.
You're already out the courtroom waiting for them to come out, and they're only coming out one of two doors.
Well, what I'm saying though is just think about the safety hazard it would be. It's just I personally agree with it, man, because if I was sitting on the jury, I wouldn't want every and anybody recording me.
But that's what the Constitution allows, though. So do we just start saying no to people's rights now because there's feelings involved?
Well, I mean, you're bringing a great point, man. And this is something we might have to deep dive in and think about what might have to happen if there's something we can do because of this, because you're bringing up great points about this because you're absolutely right.
I told you at heart, I am a constitutional conservative. I am not a Republican. I am not a Democrat. I am a constitutional conservative. What the Constitution said we're supposed to have, that's what the fuck I want.
No, I mean, I know that, and I get what you're saying, but I'm just trying to see it from both sides, and I'm trying to see it from if I was a juror. Would I want any and every time they can hear it recording me? Absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, that is a safety issue. You know, that's a huge safety issue, especially when you're dealing with high-profile cases, criminal cases, any of that. You're risking the safety of somebody's life. That's why I even though that's not in the Constitution, I think it's considerable because the safety should be considered. Your safety should be considered when you have to make a life changing decision involving somebody's freedom.
Yeah. So, you know, and I get that, but I promise you, if somebody wants to know who's who doing what in the courtroom, they're gonna fucking know who's who doing what in the courtroom, and there ain't nothing that can be done about it, man. They're just if it's that big, it's gonna be that big, and I think that the court using the whole you can't have your phones unlocked one in courtroom is just a big lie, so they can use that shit, dude, to keep you from recording them, man. It's to keep you from recording them.
I'm more upset about that rule being in place at the police station than I am at the courts. I can understand the courts. I cannot understand the police station. That's a problem for me. So as far as what you're saying when it comes to the courts, I agree with what I mean. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying that I can see your point. However, I see it a different way when it comes to the courts. But when it comes to the police stations, no. These guys should be able to be recorded every step of the way. You know why? Because every time a police officer walks up to me, he's got on a body cam. Every time a police officer walks up to me, he's got on a body cam. But I can't walk in the police station with my camera out.
Nope.
That's a problem for me. That shows me. Now, if we are as a civil rights organization can do anything, we can start doing what we need to do to start getting involved with these police departments, because that's what I truly want to do. I'm tired of these cops doing whatever the hell they want to do and getting away with it. And then, we're going to investigate them, but the people we're going to hire to investigate is the same damn police department that they're hired at.
Yep.
What type of a scam is that? So you're going to investigate them, but your internal department of the same department. Oh, you guys ain't going to look out for. All you're going to do is look out for each other.
Right.
So I'm angry when it comes to the police station more than I am the court. The courtroom is too many lives at stake. You've seen defendants jump over the desk to get at the judge, man. You know, so it's safety hazards, too much safety involved in the courtrooms to me, to where I can understand why they have to put limits on certain things. You know, because if they didn't tell us, don't record nobody else but these people, who's to say that I wouldn't have had my phone out and taken pictures of the whole courtroom?
Right.
Now the court has a lawsuit against them because somebody showed up on our social media that didn't want to be on camera.
Well, we're doing it right. So that's, I guess that's, we're doing it right because of the morality involved with it. I'm not doing it the way that the court wants me to do it because the court wants me to do it that way. I'm doing it the way I'm doing it because it's morally right to do. So I'm not going to be putting the victim on there. I'm not going to be putting their family on there. I'm not going to be putting the accused family on there. Now, the accused is one thing, and the judge is another thing, and the attorneys are the other thing. I'm not going to be putting on the jury because that would be morally wrong. Not because the court says so, but because it's morally wrong. I don't need them fuckers to babysit me. I got this.
Well, I guess that pretty much sums it up. I don't need to say no more.
Yep. So but they like to say it because it makes them feel like that they had some power. Well, they're lettermen, but with the restrictions that are imposed on media personnel. Oh man.
Well,
fuck up.
Well, if I haven't had a chance to say this to you in front of our audience, I think it's important. I want to say congratulations to you too, man. Even though I'm ecstatic about this, I've been excited all day long. Like I've told you all day long, it's been on my mind because literally I can honestly say that I now have defended myself in a case where I was a defendant without an attorney, and I literally won the case. So in my opinion, even though this didn't net out any dollars because of this, it didn't turn into a settlement, it didn't turn into any type of anything, whatever you want to say, it's proved to the world that when an attorney engages in misconduct, you have rights. You can fight back. You don't have to sit back and let this attorney get away with whatever the hell they want to get away with. They are an officer of the court. That means they have to obey the laws of the courtroom. They don't get to do whatever they want to do because they have a law degree. So I want to congratulate you, Mr. Amato, because I would not have been able to do this, and I want everybody to hear this, without the assistance of you. This took the both of us. I came and showed you some things on how we can fight back legally in the court system, but it was you that gave me even the confidence to go back in there after that guy beat me up the first day. Let's tell the truth. He beat me up the first day when I went there. I went there thinking like I'm going in here to defend my rights for something that I don't even understand. And then it turned into a 2-day trial. And the first day of the trial, this guy literally put me on the stand, literally had me in there like I was a criminal. And then after spending time with Mr. Amato, before we went back, he totally prepared me. So together we can celebrate this.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, we did well on that, man. And yeah,
this is our official FCN Watchdog Media. If you want to say first official win in court.
Yeah, and for those of you, I mean, you guys have to think about this. For any of you who feel like any of your rights have been impeded upon because you have something that you had to say, this is case law now. This is something that you guys can reference if you ever get yourself into a position to where you're being held of, being accused of some type of menacing by stalking or whatever. Somebody's saying something about you because you have an opinion about something. This is a win for everybody. This is a win for people. This is a win for the First Amendment. Scroll down to the last page, bro. Let's read this entry. I'm going to read this really quick. Get to that last page, and we're going to just look this over really quick, and I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to read this to you, what this says. And this is really important to know.
You're going to have to read it because I don't have the last page in the background saved.
Okay, yep, not a problem. Not a problem. So I'm going to, this is the 3-page document that we have here. And this is the ruling from the court that came to Mr. Kimble today. And I'm going to read to you the last entry on that particular page. And let's see right here. This should be, do this by date. All right. So, sorry it's taken just a second, guys, but I have it here.
That's all right. Take your time, man.
All right. I already opened this once. Oh, that's right. I put it in my drive. I forgot, so it wasn't on my phone. All right. So the first 2 pages basically just kind of go into the details of what was being claimed by the plaintiff, Mr. Shinover, and what Mr. Kimble has said in his defense. And then at the end of it all, this is what the court has given their finality on. So it says, given the evidence and testimony presented, the court cannot find, even by a preponderance of the evidence, that Kimble's conduct has risen to the level of menacing by stalking required for the issuance of a protection order in this case. Further, the court cannot find that Shinover nor his family members are in immediate and present danger from Kimble. As such, the court therefore finds that petitioner, Joseph W. Shinover Jr., has not met his burden of proof, and a protection order is not appropriate in this case. The petition for civil stalking protection order filed on the 28th of October, 2025 is denied. Effective November 19th, 2025, the terms of the civil stalking protection order ex parte issued on October 28th, 2025 are terminated. And that is signed by the judge. That is the end result of this case.
Now, what judge was that signed that?
It looks like it's hard to make it out, but it looks like it's probably Judge Winters, Bruce Winters.
Okay, so he's the judge that actually issued it, and he's the judge that then came back and terminated it.
Yeah, so this is the judge that you actually had filed a complaint against with the Supreme Court, stating that he acted outside of the scope of what a judge should be doing and preserving, the sake of both parties. He didn't look at the evidence, and he just issued a protection order on you, because if he would have looked at the evidence, he would have seen that there was no grounds to issue a protection order. You did nothing but state your First Amendment rights, and it shouldn't have been put into place in the first place.
Right. And guys, I want you guys to understand the only reason that it's this serious for me is because I have a clean background. I'm a notary. I'm a minister. I'm a community advocate. I've done things in the community. I've never been in any trouble whatsoever in my life. And this guy literally put this in place, and they took my weapon from me for 90 days, basically saying that I'm a criminal because if somebody gets a protection order against you, no matter what you say, if it's signed by a judge, they immediately have to take your weapon. Well, you know what that resulted in? It resulted in me losing a potential lucrative place of employment that was offered to me in November. I could not take that position because I could not carry a weapon. Number two, it then labeled me as a stalker on my professional name. Now I've got on my professional name that I have a stalking charge against me, as if I'm some type of a criminal. No, you've now put a blotch on my professional name, and you defamed my professional character and name and character and image. So now you have to have consequences for this. And this is what this is all about. It's not about us just trying to, I want to just sue this guy. No, he broke the law. And this judgment entry proves that this guy broke the law. I don't even have to do anything else. This is enough evidence to prove to the Lucas County Court of Common Pleas that this guy broke the law. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as, him trying to make people think that you were doing this just to get people, just to get money. I wanted to get back to what I was saying before. First, we want everybody to understand Mr. Kimble's case and my cases have nothing to do with each other as far as the lawsuits that we have going on. Mr. Kimble's business suffered a break-in, suffered some racial slurs that were put on the walls of his building. He suffered some racial remarks that were made in a deposition and a final statement made by State Farm. So many things that had happened, all as a result, and everybody involved in what was going on with Mr. Kimble's case would be the Swanton Police Department, the State Farm, McNeil Chevrolet, and General Motors. I mean, that's pretty much all that was involved in it. Now, because of the attorney that Mr. Kimble had prior to him going pro se on this, that attorney, after looking into some stuff, appeared to have acted inappropriately in handling Mr. Kimble's case. At least that is what we have gathered from the information that we have studied out. So now Mr. Kimble put him into the lawsuit, that attorney. He's now named in this lawsuit. His name is Zach DeSilvis. Zach DeSilvis, I believe, worked with or for Joseph Schiniver at one time while Mr. DeSilvis was handling the case for Mr. Kimble in Fulton County. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so that is what's going on with Mr. Kimble and his court cases. He worked at McNeil Chevrolet, all part of the investigation that should have been done when he had his store broken into. So that's why all of those people are like grouped into one lawsuit. Okay, that's what he's had to do. He's had to take them to different courts and everything, but it all goes to those people. So there's nobody else outside of that he's suing, except for this guy, Mr. Schiniver, that just came out of the woodwork and started seeing Mr. Schiniver's name popping up on Mr. Kimble's pages. Your page has been viewed by Joseph Schiniver. Your page has been viewed by Joseph Schiniver. Yes. So Mr. Kimble got a little bit uncomfortable about that because why? Because Mr. DeSilvis is named in a federal lawsuit and he worked with Joseph Schiniver. It's good grounds to be panicked, right? So that's why now Joseph Schiniver is named in a lawsuit, because he filed this crappy protection order against Kimble and Kimble sued him. For me, my daughter was falsely accused for the fire, burn our house down, and she was found not guilty, and we're suing the police detective, the other people that were involved in it. It's a very good lawsuit. You guys should see it. It's really pretty. It's the best lawsuit, one of the best lawsuits ever. I haven't seen a lawsuit so good.
So very beautiful, so very great. It's so great. It's so very great.
It's the big, beautiful suit.
Yeah, so that is correct. I want you guys to understand. So it wasn't like we just got together and decided, oh, we're just gonna be some lawsuit filing jokers and just make everybody's life a living hell. No, these things, I've been fighting for my rights in Swanton, Ohio since 2022. This has happened. I've been going, literally, we've got the body cam footage of the illegal interrogation involving the Swanton Police Department. We even got the fact that they took my DNA and their attorney responded with, what does he want us to do? Give him his DNA back? I mean, that not only says I wrongfully took the DNA, but we're going to laugh at you and give you some kind of sarcastic, scamified answer about it. No, we're going to fight if it takes 10 years. And so the reality is we've been fighting for that store, the HCB store, since January 17th, 2022. Well, McNeil Chevrolet brought themselves in the case by calling me acting like the Swanton Police Department, breaking the law. There's a police report attached that supports this. They called me impersonating the same Swanton Police Department that violated my rights when it came down to my store. And yet I'm not supposed to be wondering why they were not investigated? No. So McNeil Chevrolet brought themselves into this situation. And then it allowed me to go back and tell the world what I had to tolerate as the finance manager, as the only black employee for over 7 years. I tolerated being treated like the only black employee, being called Harambe, the token black, Toby, all of these different things. So these situations, like he said, have nothing to do with each other. I did not come to him and he came to me and we just came together and said, we're suing people. We have 3-4 separate situations that are going on because these people have decided that they don't want to fess up and deal with what they did wrong. And when you deal with a situation like that, you have to have the balls, the spine to take that situation to court, whether you have an attorney or not. That's what this is all about. We did this without an attorney.
That's right, without an attorney. And you know what? I don't want an attorney. You guys can stay the entire hell away from me. You even come knocking on my door talking about, oh, let us finish helping you out on your civil case. Nope. Nope. Hell to the no. You know what? Maybe you can file paperwork for me. I'll pay you to file paperwork. I'll pay you maybe 1% to file paperwork. But otherwise, you stay the fuck away from my case.
Yeah, the same thing with the news departments. All of them. Toledo 11, 13 Action, all of them. You all are scams because you only report on what you want to report on. You're biased as hell. And I call you fake news like Donald Trump says. Because how in the world can somebody come to you with all of this evidence and you choose not to report on it? You're scams, all of you.
Yeah, they don't care, man. They don't care. They don't want to be helping anybody who's trying to move forward and progress forward. You know who they work for.
That's right.
You know, Kanye done spilled the beans on that. And, you know, I believe that. I'm sorry, I don't give a shit. That's just my opinion. I'm allowed to, but I ain't going to spread the news on it.
Right, right. Well, that sums it up, man. I'm going to get this all chopped up and get it on all of our platforms and get a thumbnail on it and everything. But, yeah, man, this is a victory today.
Yes, it is, man. Awesome.
So, all right, you got anything else?
No, man. Nope, nothing at all. I'm good, bro.
All right. Well, guys, if you need our assistance, you can reach out to us by visiting our website at www.fcnwatchdogmedia.org, or you can email us at support@fcnwatchdogmedia.org. Don't forget, this week on the 26th, if you're in the Maumee area, we are having another fundraiser event. The last one we did with Red Robin was very successful, and we generated $875 in sales that day for Red Robin. So we're going to say that again to you guys that are listening. Please, 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 if you care about civil rights and you care about your First Amendment rights, you care about your constitutional rights, this is an opportunity for you to take your family out to Red Robin, and whatever you spend in there, a donation comes back to FCN Watchdog Media for this work. We've got cameras and things that we need to get to upgrade, and you guys can donate to our organization because we are a registered 501c3. We're not just some group that just came up with whatever we wanted to come up with. You can look us up, FCN Watchdog Media Group, and you can visit us online at any time to figure out details. There's a couple of different things we've posted on the website. We're on Facebook. We're on every social media platform. So you can follow us on YouTube. You can follow us on LinkedIn. We're on Twitter. You can follow us anywhere. And if you need to reach out to us, don't hesitate to reach us by email.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right. Take care, guys.